Hi everyone. So today in this video we are going to see activity 5.4 here. Put dried raisins or apricots in plain water and leave them for some time. Then place them into a concentrated solution of sugar or salt. You will observe the following. So as I said in the earlier video, what you have to do, you have to put some kismis into the plain water or pure water. What happens to that kismis? They are going to swell up. They are going to become bigger in size. And when you add the kismis or raisins to the sugar water or salt water, they are going to remain same. Each gains water and swells when placed in water. However, when placed in the concentrated solution, it loses water and consequently again it is going to shrink. Okay. So unicellular freshwater organisms and most plant cells tend to gain water through osmosis. So they are saying, so amoeba, all the unicellular organisms, what happens? They are present in water. They are going to gain water through the process called as osmosis. Absorption of water by plant roots is also example of osmosis. So the plant roots are going to absorb the water with the help of the process called as what osmosis only. Okay. Thus diffusion is important in exchange of gases and water in the life of the cell. So the two important things in the life of the cell is nothing but diffusion and osmosis. Got it? So in addition to this, the cell is also obtain nutrients from this its environment. Different molecules move in and out of the cell through type of transport requiring use of energy. So in a cell, the movement of things is going to take place by the transport, one kind of transport we are going to say. So that transport is nothing but moving from one place to another, right? So the things are going to move from external environment to the inside the cell with the help of the energy. Okay, so the plasma membrane is flexible and is made up of organic molecules called as lipids and proteins. So plasma membrane is made up of some organic molecules called as what? Lipids and proteins. However, we can observe the structure of the plasma membrane only through electron microscope. So you are going to, so cell is only small thing we can see under the microscope. And this plasma membrane or the outer covering is still again a very minute thing or very tiny thing. We cannot observe under the normal microscope. We can only see it under the electron microscope. That is nothing but bigger microscope. Okay. The flexibility of the cell membrane also enables the cell to engulf in food and other material from its external environment. So, the flexibility of the cell membrane also enables the cell to engulf in food and other material from its external environment. So, they are saying the flexibility is nothing but the elasticity of the cell membrane. What happens? It is going to eat the food. Engulf is nothing but digest or eat the food and from the outside environment only. Such process we are going to call it as what? Endocytosis. Endocytosis. That means what? The plasma membrane will be there, right? So let me say this is the cell and this is the outer covering of the cell. So this outer covering is nothing but what? Cell membrane. This cell is going to eat the food from the outside. It is going to eat the food. Okay, that process we are going to call it as what? Endocytosis. Amoeba acquires its food through such process. So amoeba is going to eat the food through the process called as what? Endocytosis. So when a food is going to enter into the near the amoeba, what happens? It is going to eat up. When it enters here, when the food enters here, it's going to change the shape and it is going to become some other shape, right? So you know this basic thing, right? I hope so. So that is about endocytosis. Now let us go for the activity 5.5 here. Find out about electron microscopes from resources in the school library or through the internet. Discuss it with your teacher. So electron microscope is nothing but what? So it is the biggest microscope we can say. By with the help of this microscope we can see very minute things also. So it is used in the research field to investigate or to see the to learn the detailed structure of tissues, cells, organelles, and some other things. Okay, so try to gather or try to discuss with your teacher or the You can search through the internet so that you can get few more details regarding the electron microscope. So next, how do substances like CO2 and water move in and out of the cell? So I think in the previous video I have said these things to you, so you can answer these questions, I think so. Why is the plasma membrane called a selectively permeable membrane? So try to answer these questions. So next part of the cell is nothing but cell wall. So first we learned about plasma membrane, right? So now let us see what is this cell wall. Plant cells, in addition to the plasma membrane, have another rigid outer covering called as what? Cell wall. So remember first point here, cell wall is only present in plant cell. It is not present in animal cell. Cell wall is present in plant cell and cell wall is absent in animal cell. Got it? So plant cell is having two layers. Let us say this is a plant cell. It is having one layer, plasma membrane, and it is having another membrane called as what? Cell wall. But animal cell is not having cell wall, it is having cell membrane. Got it? The cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane. The plant cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Cellulose is a complex substance and provides structural strength to the plants. So you know that plants are very delicate. I can say when they are small or whatever it is. So the cell wall is made up of a substance called as what? Cellulose. We have to remember this thing. So cellulose is the thing by which the cell wall is made up of. When a living plant cell loses water through osmosis, there is shrinkage or concentration of the contents of the cell away from the cell wall. This phenomenon is known as plasmolysis. So, this is the cell, okay? And this is the cell membrane, and this is the cell wall. What happens when the cell is going to lose water? The cell wall will be as it is, and this cell is going to lose its shape. Got it? And this process we are going to call it as what? Plasmolysis. We can observe this phenomenon by performing some activity. Let us go for this. Mount the peel of rohio leaf in water and slide and examine cells under the high power of a microscope. So mount the peel of Rio leaf in water on a slide and examine cells under the high power of microscope. So Rio leaf is nothing but it is somewhat grass-like thing, not exact small one. It is somewhat bigger grass-like thing. It is said as boat lily, I think. Okay, so better search this leaf in the internet so that you can get the image very clearly. So you are going to take that Rio leaf and you are going to put it on a slide and you are going to observe under the microscope. What happens? What you are going to see? Note the small green granules called as chloroplast. If you observe these Rio leaves under the microscope, high power microscope, we are going to see some green patches like thing or green granules like thing. So they are called as what? Chloroplast. They contain a green substance called as chlorophyll. Okay. Put a strong solution of sugar or salt on the mounted leaf on the slide. Wait for a minute and observe under microscope. So first you have to observe it normally. Then you have to add some salt water or the sugar water to the slide, and after 1 minute you are going to see. Now what you are going to see, the reolutes in boiling water for a few minutes. You are going to see the reolute cells are going to be shrinked. Now what another thing, now place some reolutes in boiling water for a few minutes. This kills the cells. Then mount one leaf on a slide and observe it under microscope. Strong solution of sugar or salt on it. Wait a minute and observe it again. What we define? Did plasmolysis occur now? So here in first experiment there is a plasmolysis occurred, right? What happened in the second thing? So it appears that only living cells and not dead cells are able to absorb water by osmosis. So when we boil the rio leaves in the hot water, what happens? The cell has been dead. Okay, we have taken the dead cells and we have observed under the microscope. Then we have added some salt or sugar solution to it, but there is nothing like thing we are going to see. The plasmolysis is not occurred. So plasmolysis occurs only in the living cells, not in the dead cells. Okay, cell walls permit the cells of plants, fungi, and bacteria to withstand very dilute external media without bursting. So, cell wall is the strong support to the plant cells and the fungi and bacteria also. Okay. In such media, the cells tend to take up water by osmosis. The cell swells, building up the pressure against the cell wall. The wall exerts an equal pressure against the swollen cell. Because of their walls, such cells can withstand much greater changes in the surrounding medium and animal cell. So, the cell wall is going to be so much strong that the water level is, the cell is not going, the swelled up cell is not going to become much bigger in size. Okay. So, next part of the cell nucleus. Okay, so remember the temporary mount of onion peel we prepared. So in first onion mount we have remembered, right? We have taken onion peel, we have put it in water, put it slide and observed under the microscope. We have seen some hexagonal shape like zinc and a dark spot here in the center of the cell, and that spot is nothing but what? Nucleus. We had put iodine solution on the peel. Why? So in the peel, we have added some iodine solution to the onion peel. Why? Because the nucleus is going to take the color to the itself. So why? What would we see if we tried observing the peel without putting the iodine? If we did not put the iodine to it, we cannot see these darker spots in the cell. Okay. So when we put iodine to this peel, we are going to see some pink darker spots in it. So that spots are nothing but what? Nucleus. Try it and see what the difference is further. When we put iodine solution on the peel, did each cell get evenly colored? According to their chemical composition, different regions of the cell get colored differently. Okay, depending upon the chemical nature, the color is going to be present. Few areas of the cell is lighter and few areas of the cell will be darker. Okay, some regions appear darker than the other regions. Apart from iodine solution, we could also use saffron in solution or methylene blue solution to stain the cells. So these are the chemical things: iodine solution, saffron in solution, or the methylene blue. These are the chemical stains that are used to color the specimens or the color the things which we are going to mount it. We have observed cells from the onion. Let us now observe cells from our own body. So we till now we have taken some onion cells, root cells, leaf cells, right? So now let us take our body cells. So let us take a glass slide with a drop of water on it. Using an ice cream spoon, gently scrap the inside surface of the chick. Does any material get stuck on the spoon? With the help of a needle, we can transfer this material and spread it evenly on the glass slide and kept ready for this. To color the material, we put a drop of methylene blue solution on it. Now the material is ready to observe under microscope. Do you not forget to put a cover slip on it? So what you have to do, you have to take a slide and you have to put some water on it. Now you have to take the ice cream spoon and open your mouth and from the cheek area. So beside your tongue, you are having the cheek area, right? You are going to scratch it lightly so that some skin is going to come with the spoon. So do that with the help of a needle. You are going to remove that skin and you are going to adjust or keep on the slide, and you have to add the cover slip and you have to observe under the microscope. What you are going to see? What is the shape of the cell we see? Draw it on the observation sheet. Was there a, and you have to add the methylene blue indicator, okay, that gives color to the cell. Darkly colored spherical or oval dot like structures near the center of each cell. This structure is called nucleus, where there are similar structure in the onion peel cells. So here they are saying your cells are going to look some round and flat cells you are going to see. The chick cells will be some round and flat cells are going to be seen with the dark spot in the center, okay, and this is, will be the cytoplasm we can say, and this structure is called as what, the center part is called as what, nucleus. Where the similar structure is on onion peel, the onion peels will be different and the chick cells are going to be different. The nucleus has a double layered covering called as nuclear membrane. When you observe the chick cells, here you are having one another layer, another membrane to the nucleus, and that membrane you are going to call it as what, nuclear membrane. So simple thing, cell is having some outer covering called as what, cell membrane. Nucleus is having some outer covering called as what, nuclear membrane. Got it? The nuclear membrane has pores which allow the transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside, that is to the cytoplasm, which we will talk about in section 5 to 4. So here the nucleus, this is the nucleus, and this is having one outer covering called as what, nuclear membrane, okay, and this membrane is having some pores on it, that means holes on it. Pores are nothing but some small holes on it, okay, and that holes are called as what, nuclear pores, okay. This we think we are going to learn deep in the section 5.2.4, okay. The nucleus contains chromosomes which are visible as rod-shaped structures only when the cell is about to divide. So this nucleus, inside the nucleus we are having the chromosomes, okay. They are going to divide during the cell division. Chromosomes contain information from the inheritance of characters from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA. DNA full form is deoxyribonucleic acid. Chromosomes are composed of DNA and protein. DNA molecules contain the information necessary for the construction and organizing cells. Functional segments of DNA are called as what? Genes. In a cell which is not dividing, DNA is present as a part of chromatin material. Chromatin material is visible and entangled mass of thread-like structures. Whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin material gets organized into the chromosomes. So this thing you are not going to understand it easily. So I'm going to say it in very simple thing. Concentrate here. So first thing, this is the cell. Let me say this is the cell. Okay, cell is having what? Cell membrane or plasma membrane. So inside the cell you are having what? Nucleus. Nucleus is having some outer covering called as what? Nuclear membrane. And this is having some pores on it, nuclear pores. Okay, keep it aside. Now what I am going to do, I am going to take this section or this image, I am going to make it as bigger here. So this is the nucleus and this is the nuclear membrane, okay. So this inside the nucleus you are having a thread like thing, okay. Inside the nucleus you are having a thread like thing. That thread like thing we are going to call it as what? Chromatin network. Some network like thing or thread like thing we are having, and that we are going to call it as what? Chromatin network, okay. And this chromatin network, if I take a single stand here, single piece here, what happens here? You are having a DNA, okay. So DNA will be there, and this DNA is mainly responsible for characters, okay. So have you seen some people are going to say you just look like your father, you look like your mother, you got your mother's hair, you got your father's hair, you are so small like your father or so small like your mother. uh, some few habits of your father or your mother is going to come to you because of this DNA, okay. What's DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Got it? So this much you are going to remember. So what you have to remember, cell is having nucleus is having outer membrane, nuclear membrane. Inside the nucleus you are having some thread like thing called as what, chromatin network, and this chromatin network is having DNA, and DNA is having the small part of DNA, you are going to call it as what, gene. Okay, genes, and genes are responsible for getting character of your mother or the father or the even grandparents also. Okay, chromosomes are present in the nucleus. The nucleus plays a central role in the cellular reproduction. Okay, so in the cell reproduction, as I said earlier, from one cell we are going to get two cells. From two cells we are going to get four cells, right? That means what? This cell is going to divide into two. These two cells are going to divide into four. Four we are going to divide it into eight, like that. Okay? So why this division is going to take place? Mainly because of nucleus only. So they are saying it plays a very important role in the cell reproduction. The process by which a single cell divides and forms two new cells. Okay, cell reproduction is nothing but what? It is the process by which a single cell is going to divide and forms two new cells. Got it? So it also plays a crucial role, important role, along with the environment in determining the way the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at maturity by directing the chemical activities of the cell. So depending upon the environmental conditions, okay, and how the cell is going to divide or how the cell is going to develop according to the nutrients. Okay, the cell should eat the things, right? It should get the nutrients to divide. So depending upon that, it is going to exhibit its maturity or directing the, depending upon the chemical activities also, the cell is going to divide. In some organisms like bacteria, the nuclear region of the cell may be poorly defined due to the absence of nuclear membrane. Such an undefined nuclear region containing only nucleic acid is called as what? Nucleoid. So bacteria is not having nuclear membrane. Okay, so nuclear membrane is not present in bacteria, and that kind of nucleus we are going to call it as what? Nucleoid. Nucleoid is present in bacteria. Such organisms whose cells lack a nuclear membrane are called as what? Prokaryotes. Pro, primitive or primary, karyote, nucleus. Karyote or karyon is nothing but what? Nucleus. Prokaryotes are nothing but the animals or the which do not have nuclear membrane. That kind of animals are called as what? Prokaryotes. Organisms with cells having a nuclear membrane are called eukaryotes. So you have to remember two things here: prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes that do not have nuclear membrane, and eukaryotes that have nuclear membrane. Prokaryotic cell, the cell which do not have, also lack most of the other cytoplasmic organelles present in the eukaryotic cell. So prokaryotic cell is also loses some other parts of the cell only. Okay, so it is not only losing a nuclear membrane, it is also having some, doesn't have in some other parts of the cell also. Many of the functions of such organelles are also performed with poorly organized parts of the cytoplasm. The chlorophyll is photosynthetic prokaryotic bacteria is associated with membranous vesicles, bag-like structures, but not with the plastids as eukaryotic cells. If you go through this structure, so this is a bacteria, right? Here you are not having the nucleus inside the bacteria. So we are going to, it is having nucleoid, and this is having plasma membrane outer covering. Ribosomes are the other parts which are present in the one of the organelle of the cell, and cell wall is present in bacteria also. Okay, so prokaryotic cell is nothing but the cell which is not having nuclear membrane, and some other parts are also going to be loosed. Okay, so thank you for watching the video. For more videos, please subscribe the channel.